um, energy. I was looking for activity defensively, and then having a couple more downhill threats that can get into the paint and see if we can make the defense react and get something going. So, yeah, that was the thought.
Coach, you guys had a great first quarter, then all of a sudden, like the wheels fell off in the second quarter. What happened? What did Phoenix do differently for the change?
I thought they just I thought their biggest adjustment was just pushing it in transition, just putting their heads down and getting out. They were leaking out a little bit so they can get out in transition. They just killed us in transition today, and it wasn't really due to our turnovers tonight. Tonight was more of our shot selection, and we were just a little slow getting back in transition. So I think that that's the predicament they put you in when they have someone like AT who, at her position, can handle and has that pace that she plays with, because she gets the board, and then her defender most of the time is around the paint and underneath the rim. And so when she's able to get the defensive rebound and push it in transition, puts a lot of pressure on your defense. And so I think in that second and third quarter, I think we struggled to put a stop to the bleeding when they started going on runs, and that was kind of the game.
Harley?
Coach, 8 losses in a row, 21 losses on the season. When I ask players what the mentality is, it's just wanting to play intentional and take it possession by possession, and that's what coaching is preaching to the players. Can you elaborate more on what you mean by intentionality, possession by possession, and what you want to see out of this team, especially entering a stretch here of about 5 or 6 games in 8 days?
Yeah, it's attention to detail, but then it's also not letting one mistake lead to multiple mistakes. And so the intentionality is not letting a turnover or a bad shot affect us, our ability to get back in transition, or um, not letting our missed shots dictate what the next possession happens on an offensive standpoint. So we got to be better in that area. We've been decent at that over stretches of this season, but it showed its head at times too. So we got to be better in the moment of fighting through that adversity.
You got Haley back today. It's been sort of a tough rookie season for her with the ankle injury, but what have you seen behind the scenes that should give fans optimism for her long-term development?
I think her work ethic is something that is widely known about Haley, and I think that drive and that passion um, is what fuels her to be able to bounce back from moments from adversity and from moments like this with her injury. And so she wants to be out there for her teammates. Her teammates are excited to have her back. She continues to put in the work each day, and so I think it's only been a tough season for her from an injury standpoint. I think she's the moments where she's been able to play, she's really grown and she's really learned, and I think that that's only going to add to her longevity in this league and how she bounces back in season two.
Hey, Coach. We saw that Sloot was here today. Has she been able to give you her impression of just this recent stretch?
Yeah, we talk all the time. It's obviously it's disappointing from all fronts. I think for Slew, obviously she wishes she could be out there, but she's around and at practices. She communicates with the team all the time, so they know of her thoughts too. We talk a lot, and it's obviously um, trying to figure out a rhythm and a plan through these injuries. We'll hopefully get Ariel back soon, and Angel as well, and so. Um, but until then, we got to figure out ways to continue to put together first quarters and fourth quarters like we did today from a defensive standpoint, and less of the second and thirds.
Coach, just wanted to get your thoughts on how you felt Maddie's adjusted to the physicality of the league.
Really good. I think that sometimes obviously some of the tougher matchups against more of the vets at her position, but I think that when she's been able to go against other rookies or second, third year players that she has some familiarity with from playing against them in college or whatever, you kind of forget about that and going into a game, and then but the more minutes that she's had, the more opportunities that she's had, I think that she's grown more and more confident, and I think that her biggest adjustment. Coming into the league, and especially when you look at how preseason games went and how training camp went, it was just adjusting more to the pace of it. And so her position is a tough one. I think the best players in the league are at that spot at the four. And so, we've experimented at times playing her at the three. But I think overall, I think she's done a really good job. There's not many second round picks that end up making it this far. And so it's a testament to her work ethic as well.
Hey, Coach. When the players were in here, they mentioned that they're struggling with finding the will to win on a consistent basis. As a coach and someone who's been around basketball for a long time, how do you find ways to combat that, especially if it's something to do with the players' mentality and, they just kind of seem like they're defeated? So how do you get them to find the will to win?
Yeah, I think that I think everyone has the will to win. I think it's more of the will to compete that you have to find and have to have. I think no one plays a game wanting to lose. I think that, but not everyone understands what it takes to win. And so I think that from a competitive standpoint, that is the mindset that we've tried to build and instill and maintain. And so that's been more of what the messaging is of not letting your circumstances deflate you or defeat you from the will to compete. And so if you give yourselves a chance to compete, then you give yourselves a chance to win. If you're only focused on the win, then you lose sight of what it takes to compete. And so I think that that's kind of been how we've been communicating it to our team, and I think they understand that. At the same time, I think that when you go in a stretch like where it becomes a little bit tough to see in the moment, and so we got to find ways to continue to battle, continue to dig in, so we can end the season strong.
Thanks, everyone.